No one wants to discuss Atul in parliament. Everyone is busy discussing one nation, one election, Manipur, Bangladesh, and of course, Mr. Ambedkar. Now, the question is why? The question's answer lies on the government as well as opposition party itself. Party of North India are hyper gynocentric, unlike the very same party in South India, which is quite opposite. Both Congress and BJP in South India said men's right has to be favored, whereas in North India they are deafeningly silent. None of them want to discuss in parliament because they don't want to take on women's ministry. No one wants to take on women's ministry is because all of them have some type of connections, especially bureaucrats. Bureaucracy is a huge part of women's ministry. Women ministry consists of bureaucrats. Like in the last video I have said that if women ministry doesn't have issue, how will they survive? So they create unnecessary tension between gender to make living purely based on misandry. And hence politicians knows that if people start asking correct question, they might be forced to take action against women and child welfare ministry. And this is where the problem starts for politicians. They don't want to give up this ministry. In fact, it's not just India, any country does not want to give up this ministry. Except two countries, especially one which is Argentina, who has done it. They literally have done it because their politician raised the correct question, especially Javier Milei, and not the third rated career politician who just want to loot men and make a living. It also trigger many religious institution because marriage industry is linked to diverse industry, and diverse industry is obviously linked to women's ministry, and that's where no religious institution also want to take on this issue. By raising Ambedkar issue, they think they have done cleverness, but they are mistaken. The so-called Ambedkars are actually controlled by bunch of feminists who exploit lower caste men by using lower caste women against them. And then some Sims with lower caste women constantly does hateful campaign across the board to gain political power. This is called sexual left, which has been beautifully explained by Stephen Baskerville, and as he had done regarding black feminism in United States. Now the question is that what Ambedkar personally had thought of it. Ironically, Ambedkar did believe in classical liberalism, yet he was against affirmative action and such discriminatory ministries. He wanted to even tear constitution down for some time. But his wish was unfulfilled because of politics. Now the question is how this can be solved. United States gives you perfect answer. What happened in United States this week will tell what should be done. In United States, there is huge fund budget allocation done for hurricane by Mike Johnson. He said that it should be passed urgently so that it is relief for all the people of Carolinas who have suffered from hurricane. But ironically, when Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk read the bill, they said none of the provision is related to victim of hurricanes. Instead, it is all filling the coffer of bureaucrats. And that moment only, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy stood up and said no to this bill. And this gave ultimatum to Mike Johnson. You see that both conservative and liberal here in US, Democrat and Republican, are pro-big state. They are defending big governments. And big government always tend to be a hyper-gynocentric. They tend to be hyper-male-hating institution. And of course, because of this activism, they tend to make data that disfavor men in favor of themselves by using women as a proxy. So misogynistic, so misogynistic. They think women are useful tools. They think that women are commodity that can be used to satisfy the power of the elite class, regardless of countries. South Korea had chance to do that, but President Yoon got scared and instead he chose to pander to government and feminist. And now his government is almost on verge of collapse, thanks to his stupidity. This is how United States is right now dealing with situation. And you see Javier Milei, the master class politician, have solved it. He also stood up to religious institutions who favored feminism as well as big government. And we have to remember, big government mean welfare state mean caring of women mean displacing men from the household and use women as a proxy against men. And that's how government gains power. Everyone only care about power. Religious institutions say, we are anti-communist, we are this, that, we are that, blah, blah, blah. But actually, they only want power. They will suppress freedom. Like example, Florida recently tried to ban some adult content website, saying that men have no control over themselves, yet they will not say a word on gynocentric courts, gynocentric institution, which is root cause of this adult content pandemic among men. They only want to hold men responsible, not women. So as a result, you can see how so-called right-winger conservative are pro-big government and pro-big state. They want to ban adult content, which Democrats have correctly referred to in their political campaign when they were doing in this US election, which unfortunately they lost. So, moral of story is that be India, be United States, be anywhere else, politicians only care about power, bureaucrats only care about power. They have colluded with each other alongside some corrupt businessmen and others who made a caucus to weaken men, to push people into useless issue, to divert from main issue, as we have seen in India with Ambedkar instead of Atul Subhas, and in US trying to push hurricane bill when there is no provision for hurricane itself. Instead, there are provision for feminism, Ukraine, Gaza, whatever. So, moral of story is people needs to get education, people need to wake up, and people seriously need to question their politician. And please, people should elect member on local basis. If you don't elect member on local basis, especially in case of India, where people choose party based on national leadership, then you will face disaster. Why? Because national leader will not come to every seat. It is ultimately local politician who will come to your seat, a MP or a MLA. So if MP, MLA is not taking your issue, you are in trouble. You have to raise it. Thank you. If you do like video, do share, do subscribe to my channel, do press like button and do comment. Namaste.